Hi, welcome to the Paige Doodle Club. I'm Mike Paige. Today we will be drawing an emperor penguin and its chick. So grab your drawing supplies, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and let's get right to it. Okay, to start our penguin, I'm going to, we'll start with the beak here. So there's a slight bend down, like that. This is going to be the top beak. Next we'll come up like this for the start of the forehead, and then pretty much across and start the curve back. This is going to be an emperor penguin. And along the bottom of the beak, we'll keep it pretty thin and pointy overall. And then we'll want to come down like this. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and indicate where it is black. So if you're coloring this in later on, you'll know what portion to color black. So this whole shape here will get filled in black. And I'm just going pretty quickly right now. We can come back to this later on to fill it in. But that'll give you an idea when you're coloring it in later on. You've pretty much everything that you just made except for this tiny little wedge there will be black. Next we're going to come down for the body. It's almost like a bowling pin that we're creating here. So it's got this tiny little neck and head. But then it's going to bulge out quite a bit. This part here is going to be the inside of the flipper over here, the wing. Now, next what I'm going to do is kind of imply a V shape here where the legs are sort of separating from the body. Really, they're connected very low, but this whole portion that will be in here can move back and forth. So it all kind of operates similar to a leg, but almost like if you have your pants halfway on and you're trying to walk across the room. It's like their legs are stuck together for most of them. So next I'll make the feet. And I'm keeping this pretty simple. They also have claws at the end of each foot if you want to draw claws in. If you're drawing claws, something kind of like that, almost like a pointy baby carrot. And next we'll scribble the feathers at the bottom there and make his tail hanging back here. Next I'm going to imply some lines coming down, and I'm just kind of lightly doing this. If you're coloring this in later on, this will be sort of a rust and yellow color. So kind of rusty right next to this black, and then much brighter yellow at the bottom. Now we're going to make the wings. So penguins don't really make a whole lot of use of their wings most of the time, but when they swim in the water, they're actually very graceful with their swimming because of these wings. They're really goofy on land, but they're very graceful once they're in the water. Again, if you're coloring this in, this is the part of the wing that will be black. Give it that iconic tuxedo look that penguins are known for. On the other side, we're going to make the flipper coming down like this. And again like that. And then starting in sort of the armpit area, you're going to come out to the edge here and down. And again, this will all be filled in black. And also the tail and the feet will be black as well. So if you're coloring yours in, don't leave those out. And somewhere in the distance, Morgan Freeman is speaking while I'm doing this, I hope. And he's telling you something majestic about penguins. And if you'd like to put him in an environment, he's probably in Antarctica, but you could put him someplace else. Maybe he's on the red carpet because he's wearing his tuxedo. And he's on his way into the Oscars to see if Morgan Freeman won anything. It's up to you where you place your penguin. Maybe he's at an ice cream parlor. Sky's the limit, whatever you feel like doing. All right, next to our large emperor penguin, we're going to make a little chick. So to do that, starting with pretty much a rainbow shape. And a tiny little beak, still pointy but much shorter. Something like that. Then come down like this. So right now it almost looks like a little songbird, but this thing will grow up to be quite a bit bigger than a songbird. I read recently that in New Zealand they discovered fossils of a prehistoric penguin from around the time of the dinosaurs that was 5'2", which is pretty crazy. I'm not sure exactly how tall emperor penguins get, but I know 5'2" is very large for a bird. So it's got a little eye. So far it almost looks like a blue jay. If it had a crest here, you'd be well on your way to a blue jay. It's not too far off from a black-capped chickadee either. But next we're going to stray very far from a black-capped chickadee or a blue jay. We're going to give it that bowling pin kind of shape again. So an emperor penguin chick looks very squatty and pretty humorous. So we're giving him a pudgy shape here. And here's one wing. And another wing. And then we'll give him some toes kind of turned in. Again, tiny little claws on those toes. And they'll There'll be a dark gray or a black if you're coloring them in. And again, you can put these penguins anywhere you want. Wherever you want to make them. You could make it still realistic that they're in Antarctica, or you could decide they're doing something crazy. But whatever you do, don't put them with polar bears. Polar bears live in the North Pole, and they never meet each other. So there's our finished emperor penguin and chick. I hope you had a great time following along, and I hope you remembered not to put the polar bear in the scene, because if you did, your friends might say, you don't know what you're doing, those guys don't belong together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to join in for another episode of the Mike Paige Doodle Club.
All right, kids, now that you've finished your doodles, color them in and then share them with both Mike Paige and Medfield TV. We're going to take those images and we're going to put them all over our station. Can't wait to see what you guys make.